number of British fighter planes was too small to be destroyed by Russia in the event of war. The British Air Force or Royal Air Force, RAF, is reported to have only 169 combat aircraft at this point, and it is the smallest number since the Second World War due to cuts in defense allocations by the British ruling government. Malaysian international news. A report by the British Parliament concluded that the country's Air Force has a too small number of fighter jets, leaving it without a chance if war breaks out with Russia. The British Air Force, Royal Air Force, RAF, faces total destruction if faced with the Russian Air Force. The parliamentary report states that the number of Eurofighter Typhoon fighters and the RAF's F-35s is too small to deal with the Russian Air Force's fighter jets, estimated at 1,500. The RAF reportedly only had 169 fighter aircraft, and that number was the smallest since the Second World War, due to defense budget cuts by the British ruling government. In 1990, Britain reportedly had 463 fighter aircraft. According to the British Parliament's report, Britain currently has the lowest number of combat aircraft when compared to other continental European powers such as Germany and France. At this point, France has a total of 231 combat aircraft, Germany 214 combat aircraft, while Italy has a total of 199 combat aircraft. In a war with Russia, every fighter is important. Britain's defense planning will cause a defense capability gap that will persist until 2030. This is something that cannot be accepted. The Ministry of Defense and the RAF need to take immediate action to increase the number of their fighter jets, according to the report of the British Parliament. Despite facing a critical shortage of fighter jets, Britain still plans to retire about 30 Eurofighter Typhoon fighter jets in 2025, 5 years earlier than it should have done, instead of upgrading them. British MPs have criticized the country's Ministry of Defense for their action to terminate the service of the Eurofighter Typhoon. Britain's RAF and Ministry of Defense have been criticized for being slow to increase the number of its most modern aircraft, the F-35. At this point, the RAF only has a total of 31 F-35 fighter jets, developed by Lockheed Martin, and will increase to 48 by 2025. In the end, the RAF is expected to have only 74 F-35 fighter jets, compared to 138 as originally planned, following defense budget cuts by the national government.